welcome to our lipstick. So today I'm going to be filming my favorite skincare and makeup products of 2017 video. So I have all of these products organized by the way I apply the makeup to my face. So we're gonna go in that order. So I do want to mention not all of these products came out in 2017. Some of them did, but there are others that I just discovered in 2017. So these are pretty much all the products in 2017 that I loved. By the way, my son is sitting on my lap, so if you hear any coughing or any noises like that, that's why. He is right here. This is my little red-haired baby. This is Nikolai, and he's making farting sounds throughout the whole video. Like that. Hope you enjoy it. This is my life now. And I love it. I love you. So let's get into it. We're gonna start off with primer. So I have three absolute favorite priming products that I discovered this year. First of all is this product, which is not new at all, but I just started using it this year because I got it in a BoxyCharm. So this is the Smashbox PhotoFinish Foundation Primer. It is a silicone-based primer, really great for filling in pores. For me, it's amazing for filling in my acne scarring. I have divots in between my eyebrows here, and it works really well to kind of like gloss over those divots, kind of fill them in a little bit, and makes my foundation look so much better. Huge fan of this. I am so happy that I got it in that BoxyCharm. Otherwise, I don't think I would have ever tried it. The next two are two from Hard Candy. You guys have probably heard me talk about these in my videos. First one is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick. Amazing for dry skin. It gets rid of all of my dry patches before I apply my foundation. It also has a really nice cooling effect, which I just love. And then this is the Hydrating Primer Mist. All of the writing has worn off. I really like this as the primer spray. I like to put it under my foundation because it does have some tackiness to it, and it keeps the foundation on and also gives the face a really nice dewy look. I love this. I don't like using it as setting spray like some people do, again, because of the tackiness, so I do just use this solely as the primer spray. Okay, so my first favorite foundation is a high-end foundation, and this is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. I love this for my dry skin because it almost feels like a serum foundation. I believe it's a water-based foundation. Yeah, water foundation, broad spectrum, SPF 15. So it's a really nice lightweight foundation. It feels really good and hydrating on the skin. It never looks dry. It has amazing coverage. You can build this up to be really full coverage. It's about medium without building, or you can do it really, really sheer and get a nice like light wash of coverage. It's just such a versatile one, and I absolutely love it. It lasts so long on the skin and looks like you just applied it, so I'm a huge fan of this one. My drugstore favorite, which is a mess, is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous Foundation. This one has been kind of like a go-to staple ever since they discontinued my favorite foundation, which was the Lancome Photogenic Luminescence Foundation. This has a very similar texture to that, and it looks pretty much the same on the skin. Has a nice satin finish to it, like I prefer. It's just a really, really nice one because it gives excellent coverage, completely evens out the face. I've heard this is really great not only for dry skin but for oily skin as well, so I guess it's a pretty versatile foundation. I just think it's really, really good, and it's nice and cheap from the drugstore. And actually the most affordable foundation in this here is the Ordinary Serum Foundation. So I tried this out last year along with the Ordinary skincare range, and I have a video coming on that soon along with a review and demo of this as well. But I really like this for my dry skin. I've seen some reviews. One of them was Tati's review, and she actually has, I believe, either combo or oily skin, and this did not work for her at all. It would build up on the skin, like when she got oily, it would get like that weird patchiness to it. But this works so well on dry skin. Like I said, I have chronically dry skin. This is just a really nice lightweight foundation that doesn't look crepey or gross. It is what's on my face right now. You can see how nice it looks on a dry skin. So I'm a huge fan of this, and I definitely recommend it. Now this color is a little bit light for me. This is actually the lightest shade in 1.0N Very Fair Neutral. I was really shocked that this was too light for me, because usually like when I go to the drugstore or even sometimes at Sephora, they don't have a shade that's light enough for me. And so I was pretty impressed when I got this and was like, wow, this might actually be too light. That's shocking for me. So they have a really great range of colors. Now moving on to concealers. My all-time favorite of the year is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It's just a really nice lightweight concealer that never looks dry or heavy on my under eyes. A lot of concealers that I use end up looking really like crepey and dry, like right up in here. And so I can't set them with powder, and if I don't set it with powder, it moves throughout the day. So it's a big problem. This is the only concealer that doesn't do that. I'm obsessed with this. I think it's so good. Now, I did jump on the bandwagon at the end of last year around Thanksgiving, and I bought the Charte. Oh my god. Now, I did jump on the bandwagon around Thanksgiving of last year and bought the Tarte Shape Tape. I really like this. Now, for me, it does get a little bit dry, so it's not the most moisturizing formula in the world, but it looks beautiful. It's probably the most full coverage one I've found for my under eyes, because I do have very, very dark under eye circles. So this one helps to cover it really, really well. The only thing is I wish it was more moisturizing, but next up, we're going to talk about my absolute favorite setting powder, and this has been my favorite for a long time, and I kind of feel like it's never going to change. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Ethereal Light. I would show it to you, but mine is starting to break. This is kind of what it looks like, if you can see that. But it's a really, really beautiful setting powder because it keeps the satininess or the dewiness to your skin. It doesn't mattify it down, but yet it still sets your makeup for you. So that's what I love about this. They have a million different colors for your skin tone. Just go on into Sephora and get matched. Have them recommend one for you. It's just a beautiful setting powder, and it doesn't emphasize any of my skin texture or imperfections. Moving on, I want to talk about a cream contour product that I fell in love with this year. This is the Becca Lowlight Highlight Perfecting Palette. So in here you get a highlighter, and you also get like this contour bronzy shade. This is what it looks like. I never use the highlight because it's way too dark for me. I could use it for my eyes, but I just never really reach for it. But I love this. This is pretty warm, so I do use it kind of as more of a bronzer. It's on my face today. I really love the effect it gives. It's a nice natural bronzer. It doesn't look too harsh on the skin. Blends out so super well. It's just a beautiful product. This, I believe, also does come in a powder form. I have not tried that one, but I do absolutely love this. It's not a liquid, it's a cream form. Next up, all-time favorite bronzer is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It's just so good. You can totally build this up on your skin, and even if you're as fair as I am, it never looks unnatural or like too much. It never looks patchy. It's just a beautiful bronzer where it does make your skin look like it's a little bit tanned in the areas where you put it. It's a really great bronzer. I know it comes in 2 shades, but I haven't tried the other one. I believe the one I have here is bronzer, and I believe the other one is actually for lighter skin tones, but from what I've heard, it's a little bit more orangey, so I think I'll stick with this one. But let me know down below if you've tried the other one and you have fair skin and if you like it better. Just let me know. Next we are on to blush, and I have 2 favorite blushes that I've reached for this year. They are pretty much the only blushes I reach for, which is kind of sad because I really should branch out a little bit more. But the first one here is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Diffused Heat. This is the one I took on my honeymoon with me, actually in 2016, at the end of 2016. It's a really beautiful, it looks kind of coral on camera, but it's a really nice kind of deeper pink, swirled with some champagne. It looks just gorgeous on the cheeks. It has a little bit of that kind of like glow to it. These do have like glitter in them, but the glitter never sticks to the cheeks, so I really don't know why they put that in there, but it doesn't stay if you're ever worried about the glitter in here. They're just so beautiful, and they last on the skin so well. It just looks like a natural, like nice flush to the skin. And the other blush I have is kind of a cult favorite, I guess. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Exposed. It's one of those shades that's known to be a universally flattering shade. This is a shade that I would use on clients for weddings. I would use it on the bridal party and it looked great on everyone. Looks great on my fair skin. It's just a really nice neutral kind of nude blush that leans a little bit pink. So it's really, really pretty. Super nice for wintertime when you're looking for a little bit of that flushed look. Next, we are moving on to highlight. And as you guys know, I've used these to death on my channel this year, are the Jeffree Star highlights. My favorite one is the one that he collaborated with Manny MUA. This is the Skin Frost in Eclipse. It is the pink toned one. It just looks so gorgeous on my skin. This is not what I'm wearing right now because I figured I should probably stop using solely Jeffree Star highlights and use some of my other favorites for this tutorial, but I do love these. I think they're a really great formula. They don't emphasize the texture on my skin, which is what I really like about them, and you can build them up to whatever intensity you prefer. So if you like a super, super like metallic highlight, you can get that, but if you don't, just use a fan brush and you can get a nice light natural looking highlight. The one that I am wearing right now is MAC's Lightscapade. This has been a long time favorite. It's also another cult product where people talk about it all the time and used to in the past. It's a really beautiful highlight. You can see it gives a really kind of in your face look, but you can apply it with a little bit lighter of hand and get a more natural look. I really just wanted to build up the intensity so you could see it on camera, but it's such a beautiful shade because it's mixed with a whole bunch of different shades. You can see like orange and pink and purple, yellow, champagne in here, so you get a really cool like custom shade each time. I think it's really, really beautiful on the skin. It's one of my absolute favorites. So real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and name my favorite eyeshadow primer, and it's not really even a primer, but it's MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. I use it every time on my eyelids. I've tried other products in the past, Urban Decay Primer Potion, e.l.f., Shadow Insurance, all kinds of different products, and I just really prefer this. It really helps blank out the eyelids and it keeps the eyeshadow in place all day. Let's move on to brows real quick. So one of my absolute favorite products of the year has been the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow. I use the shade Chocolate. It is my favorite way to apply my brows when I'm looking for a really structured look. You guys have heard me talk about this a million times and I can't rave about this brow pencil enough. This is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Brow Pencil. It has a very precise tip. It's not super waxy. It's just really, really good. I'm using it in my eyebrows today. I just love this. It's so great to define those little hairs and make your eyebrows look realistic. I especially like it for the tail because I have like no tail. I have a few like stray hairs on the outside, but I essentially have to draw my tail on every time. And I love this because it looks so natural. It really looks like there's hairs there. And the best thing about this is it's only $5.50 regular price. And BH Cosmetics is constantly running sales. They just did one. It might still be going on, but I'm not entirely sure. Where everything was 35% off, so you can get this for like $3 and something cents. So good. On to eyes. My absolute favorite palette of the year is the Chloe Morello Pretty Fun and Fearless palette, her collaboration with Ciate. I have been looking for a purple palette for a very long time. For some reason that just doesn't seem to be overly popular. Like, I don't know if people don't reach for purples or what, but I love them. And I was so glad when she came out with this because it has so many gorgeous purple shades, some really gorgeous shimmers as well, a lot of golds. My absolute favorite color combination is gold and purple. So I was so stoked when I saw this because there's so many gold shades in here and so many purples. So it's really beautiful. It has great pigmentation. Not too much fallout. It does have a little bit, but I don't really care about fallout. That really has nothing to do with the quality of the eyeshadow. As long as they blend and they're pigmented. So I love this palette. I definitely recommend it. I know she came out with a #2 if this isn't your color preference. Definitely check that one out. I'm pretty sure it's the same exact quality. But yeah, this is so good. Favorite eyeliner of the year is the MAC Studio Chromographic pencil. This is just their nude pencil. It's the best nude pencil I've ever used. I rave about it pretty much every year. Ever since I started my channel, I've raved about this. I love it for the waterline because I have a very pink, sometimes purple waterline. This completely covers it up. And especially if you're using like red or purple shadows, this really helps so that you don't look like your eyes have an infection or that you're sick. I just love this. It's so good. Favorite mascara of the year is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I love this. It really builds up the lashes to a beautiful voluminous finish. It also lengthens them a little bit for me. I just love this. I think it's so good. People compare this to the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I agree. It gives a really nice like voluminous finish, which is what the Better Than Sex does, but this is so much cheaper. So I definitely recommend this to you guys if you liked the Better Than Sex mascara. And last but not least for makeup are lip products. I have a whole bunch to show you because I just wanted to show you the lip products that I kind of gravitated toward this year, the ones that I wore the most often. And so I have a little pile and I just wanted to show you those because pretty much everything else in my collection I kind of neglected. So these were my main go-tos. I have two absolute favorite liquid red lipsticks that I wore this year. This one is by far my favorite. This is the Too Faced Melted Matte Lipstick in the shade Lady Balls. I love this. It is so good. Another one that I actually really love that I forgot to bring down is the Stila liquid lipstick in the shade Fiery. That is my favorite shade of red of all time. But I don't like the wear time of that one so much. I feel like the Melted Matte lasts a little bit longer than the Stila, but I prefer the Stila color. So it's kind of a horse apiece. But next up, my favorite dark red is in the formula, the Hard Candy Velvet Mousse. This is a matte lip color. You let it dry down. It is a matte lipstick. It stays really well and it has the most beautiful deep red color. I love this. I do really love the formula of these two, but this is the only shade I have. So I think this year I'm gonna head out and get some more of these. I just realized that all the rest of the products I have here are all a different shade of like nude. So sorry about that. But next up, the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. I have a love-hate relationship with these. Sometimes I absolutely love them and sometimes I feel like they're way too dry. So I kind of ignore them if my lips are feeling really chapped. But I do think that they're a very good long-wearing formula. I prefer the applicator on these than most liquid lipsticks. I like how the wand is super long and it's a nice still foot, so that's not too big. So if you have smaller lips, like I have a smaller upper lip, it's easier to get right in the Cupid's bow. These are two of my favorite shades. This one is Bow and Arrow and this one is the original Lolita. I love both of these. I have a massive collection of Kat Von D liquid lipsticks, but these are the two that I go for the most. They're the most flattering. Right now on my lips I'm wearing Bow and Arrow, and I actually have a little bit of chapstick over it, so it's nice and moisturizing because my lips are super chapped. But I really like these. They're really, really long wearing, and you can apply like the chapstick over the top, and it doesn't wreck the finish at all. And it makes your lips feel a lot better. So I definitely recommend that if you find these too drying. Next up, last liquid lipstick is the Jeffree Star, specifically the shade Mannequin. It is the best nude shade for my skin tone. Some of the other ones are a little bit too brown. They have too much of a brown undertone and that just never looks good on me. So I prefer this one. I think this one does maybe have kind of like a peachy undertone. But it looks the most flattering on me. Some of the other ones are too light, some are too dark. This is just a really good one if you have pale skin. Next up, I want to talk about the L'Oreal Infallible Paints. These are not a super long wearing product, so don't think that these are going to dry down and be matte or anything. They stay pretty glossy looking and they do transfer. But I love the finish that these give. I love how moisturizing they are and the shade range. They could improve the shade range, but this shade in Spicy Blush is such a great nude shade for pale skin. I'm so impressed with this and I'm so happy that I tried these out. I just grabbed them in Walgreens one day and I'm like, well, maybe I'll try these because I had forgotten all my lip products and we were going on a trip, and I'm so glad I picked these up because I love them. Now let's move on real quick to my favorite skincare products of the year. I have only a few, so I did want to include that in my video this year. One of the skin products that I forgot to include and bring down here, I will link a little picture. I've talked about this a million times. Freeman Feeling Beautiful Black Charcoal Black Sugar Polishing Mask. It has a really long name. I talk about it all the time. It's my exfoliator that I use in the shower to exfoliate my skin, and it's been an amazing product. It costs about $4, sometimes even cheaper than that. Best exfoliator I've ever used. I absolutely love it. Next up, like I mentioned earlier, I started using the Ordinary skincare products. I do want to delve a little bit more into these this year because I mainly focused on the products that are meant for dry skin, and I do get hormonal breakouts around that time of the month, and I want to try some of their acne products as well. But as far as the dry skin products go, I am so impressed with these. These have done so much to hydrate my skin. I don't have any of that dry flakiness that I usually get around the chin area, especially during winter. Like, it's so impressive to me that I don't have that. So, moving on to my last two products of this video. The first one is my skin moisturizer. I fell in love with the Belief True Cream Aqua Bomb this year when I tried out a sample size of it from Sephora, and I had to get more. So this is not the full size of this. This is all they had left after the Sephora sale this year, so I had to get the smaller size, but I did really want it. So this is such a great moisturizer. It soaks in so quickly into the skin. It is a gel formula. It smells like Skittles. I love this. It just soaks in so well for me that my face feels moisturized all day long. Last but not least is another product that I picked up at the Sephora sale that I fell in love with. It is the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream. So I didn't think I would love this as much as I do. First of all, the smell is amazing. It smells like vanilla frosting, but not in like a gaggy way. I don't like frosting, so usually the smell of frosting gags me, but this is so good. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like a tropical vanilla. It's so good. But the thing about it is it's super moisturizing. I use it mainly on my legs, and I don't know if it's a placebo effect or what, but I am noticing that I don't have quite as much cellulite on my legs. I don't know if it's a mix between eating healthy or this, or I'm just imagining things, but that's one of the reasons I love this. I do believe this is supposed to have that effect where it reduces cellulite. That's kind of the point of it. The only downside is that it is expensive. Alright guys, so those are all of my favorite products for the year 2017. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have gotten some recommendations for products. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.